Thank you, Professor Arvind Moria, and good afternoon, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Because we are discussing something which can change the, thinking of individual surgeons. And you all understand OCT has been there for us, the anti-segment OCT, and that has given the dimension to look into a particular structure in three-dimensional view. Intraocular OCT is not an innovation. It is the application of one particular investigative tool inside the operation theater. We all started with the anti-segment OCT in your clinical setups. Then subsequently we had a handheld OCT because we thought that that can give you a new dimension in looking into your structures intraoperatively and doing things in a different manner. And this was the boon for us, the intraop-assisted surgeries, because this gives you an in vivo optical biopsy of a tissue. If you look into cornea, lens, and retina also, you can see the entire sections, you can see all the layers in 3 dimensions. In fact, this might change the diagnosis sometimes and also modify your surgical planning, and you can monitor these cases subsequently also. Just one example of incision like this type of pixelization you can only see in OCT imagings, cannot be seen in a 2-dimensional microscope view. So these are advantages of having an intraop OCTs. So I will take you through the various applications, the application wide of OCT. If you look into right from the ocular surface disorder to keratoplasty, cataract, retina, glaucoma, name anything, any surgical procedure can be highlighted, augmented by this investigative tool, which has been now in application in the microscope. This is one of the review articles we have published in a survey, and people can go through this. This was our first publication related to intraop OCT, and this highlights the intraoperative assessment of ICL, vault, on the table, which normally you should know next day after you do the surgery, then you realize the vault is less or more. This you can see on the table now, and this vault can be measured also. This OCT doesn't have the micrometer caliber. So we designed the magnification factor. We could change with the C with the ruler also. And next day we compared the OCT pixelization, it was matching. And this device where you can calculate the thickness of a tissue or a depth of a tissue in microns gives you a good assessment of all the structures also. Second application is in a keratoplasty. Name any keratoplasty, right from the PK to DSEC or lamellar keratoplasty. It has a huge role. And various studies have been done, pioneer study and subsequent discover study, where they found that the OCT really guided in decision making in more than 48% of the cases. Around 99% of the cases successfully they could acquire the desired image on the table also. This is one of my recordings of DALK precision done. The partial thickness layer has been taken away, subsequent injection of bubble. This is a deep, the Descemet complex going backwards towards the iris. And after you do a stab, the bubble comes, the membrane comes towards the stroma, and you fill with the viscoelastic, goes down again. This is after dissection. So you can have beautiful orientation of surgery during the procedure. I think this has been a sea change innovation in how you see the structure on the table, and that makes things visible for you. This is the second study we have done for our DSEC procedures, which was published subsequently. We wanted to know how much time it takes for a DSEC lenticule to get attached to the stroma which we have created after Descemet stripping these cases. With the intracameral pressure and subsequent massaging from anterior side, which is the bimanual technique we use for a DSEC procedure, we realize in a normal cases, the graft gets attached within a minute. And you don't have to wait for 10, 12, 15 minutes to thinking that graft will get attached. And we should do initially stab incision with the anterior surface of the cornea and trying to release the fluid from there. That is not required with this procedure now. And understanding made us see better also. The graft is well oriented if you have this sign, which labeled acute bevel sign, which tells you the graft is nicely oriented. This application also shifted to PDEC and DMEC procedures also to see if the graft is rightly oriented inside the anterior chamber. This is the correct orientation or DMEC roll. This is the incorrect orientation, and you could flip the DMEC roll to get into correct positions. This is what you see, the graft orientation. Subsequently flatten that, then bubble, attach it anteriorly, and the entire surgery can be done effectively also. In fact, if you have a hazy media also, this gives you a possibility to see what is happening inside the anterior chamber, especially for DMEC surgeries also. Cataract related also, it gave us a lot of advantage. We were thinking that OCT has come for a retina surgery only. In fact, it has a much more application for anterior segment surgeries also. We could classify all the white cataract we saw through the microscope pictures and grade them in difficulty-wise also. To grade type 1, type 2, depending on the lamellae, hydrated cornea fibers, and the pockets inside them could be visualized in anterior segment OCT, and you could subsequently see this is type 2, which is a most risky case where extension can happen because these hydrated fibers doesn't allow the fluid pockets to release once you do a capsulotomy like this. And this can be a challenging situation also. In fact, this video of ours was given the Best of So award in American Academy in 2019. You saw this is the hill or a mountain coming up with these fibers, not letting this pressure go down. And you had to put a dispersive viscoelastic over that to flatten and subsequently make a small opening. Take out the entire hydrated cortical fibers by aspiration with the bimanual cannula, and entire convexity gets into concavity, and you can do a nice rhexis subsequently also. This OCT picturization gives us the idea which are those cases where you can do needle aspiration, you can do a puncture, you can do a aspiration, can be classified them also. Similarly, posterior polar cataract, you saw a nice video from Dr. Rajendra Prasad. You can categorize the morphology of difficult cases by seeing the posterior pole. If the PC is clearly seen, this is type 1 where you can do normal surgery. If PC is not visible in the central area, difficult cases, or there is a moth-eaten appearance or a conical shape, ectatic shape, these are very difficult cases of posterior polar cataract. And surgery, cataract surgery, we could give it to the people seeing us, like our students, they could visualize what is happening. You do a delineation, you hardly see there. You can see in a 3D appearance, there's a fluid space between the endonucleus and the epinuclear cushion. And this is the advantage of having a 3D image of a case. And you can see I'll do a hydrodissection now. You'll see a multiple space coming there. And that tells you you have a delineation here and you have a dissection here. And that's how the surgery becomes faster and effective in these cases also. During nucleotomy also, you can see how deep you are chopping also, how deep is your initial trenches in these cases. Now after the end of surgery, you know the epicortical cushion is still there and PC is intact. And in fact, this gives a very nice view. IOL centration also, tilt can also be appreciated. This is what you see, the IOL nicely placed, and the relationship with the PC can also be judged. You can tuck the lens little below to have more attachment towards the PC also. So these things can be seen if you have a OCT pictures on the table also. The wound configuration, the wound related damage can also be assessed very, very clearly in these patients also. So in cornea-based surgeries, in refractive surgery where there can also be application now. The newer generation devices, they all have attachment to OCT. If you look into a silk surgery, the entire surgery is done under OCT guidance now. So this is what we have done in our patient SMILE. You could see where exactly your dissection is happening, anterior to the lenticule or posterior lenticule. Any lenticular adhesion can be seen also. This is the final video of mine where you can see what happens in the wound area. This is a Fuchs patient. I'm doing phaco here, the completion of phaco. And towards the end, I was thinking everything is complete now. I'm doing a hydration of the wound area. I could see some flare here and little anterior haze coming up. To open the OCT, and I could see in the OCT, entire descent had detached up to here. And I shifted my cursor towards the cornea, and you could realize there's a large area of descent membrane detachment. This could have been missed if you didn't have the OCT picture with you, and next day, entire cornea could be white. And this could be managed effectively by injection of air on the same sitting and managed. So that is the advantage of OCT picturization of all sorts of anterior segment surgeries. I would say the application there, right from the keratoplasty to refractive surgery to pediatric cases. In fact, in pediatric cases, we had much more advantage because these kids don't allow you to do a good examination. Under the general anesthesia, you can see all the structures very, very clearly and define your diagnosis and do a good surgery in these patients also. The futuristic point of view, OCT attachment may be mandatory for all the microscopes in future. And if you have a device like RTO digital microscope, you can see in a one screen everything in a large image that makes things more and more visible also. Thank you for kind listening, and this is a book you can have now, a simplified IOL power calculation in your hands, hardly 150 pages, everything compiled in a very nice manner. Today is going to be released in iOS, and you can have a book from JP. Thank you very much.